We were always the underdogs. We always had our own little energy.
Murray, heat check!
Basketball and culture have always been linked. Fashion and music are part of the game's DNA.
There's nothing like having a basketball star come up from your city that just puts the whole world on notice.
Take Toronto, a city that has exploded onto the scene in rap, food, movies, and just about everything else.
Wiggins attacking Richardson!
Toronto players have their own identity. They have a combination of a Euro game and an Americanized game.
Man, they better check to see if anybody's dead down there on the baseline.
The rise of basketball in the Six is connected to all of that, and will be for years to come.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Raptors are born.
When the Raptors and Grizzlies arrived in 1995, a lot of people put the words basketball and Canada together for the first time.
When I was a little kid, coming to Toronto and watching the Raptors play, and I'll come down and like DVP, and once you hit the Gardner and shit, you be having that feeling like, you know, like you're really in the city.
Porter, triple strike. It's a family affair.
The team back then has like a sentimental value to me, you know, because we were new and everything, and no one thought Toronto was shit, and we got a team, and it was like, yeah, we're here now, you know?
It's going to be great. NBA basketball here in Canada. It's here to stay for a long time, Rod.
With the Raptors now being a part of Toronto and Canada, it was definitely something that we all embraced in the inner city. Growing up, it seemed like everybody in the inner city played basketball and everybody in the suburbs played hockey.
You always had that feeling in the back of your mind, like people don't even care about Toronto. I never seen Toronto in a movie or nothing like that, you know? As soon as the Raptors started getting bigger and bigger, it's like people in the city were more taking themselves seriously, you know?
It gave people in Toronto something to be proud of. Obviously, you know, we had the Blue Jays early on and the Leafs, which can't win. You know, they needed something, and basketball became that outlet.
I would go to the malls and go to schools, and everybody would be wearing, you know, Raptors clothes. I knew it was here to stay. Just the electricity and the fan support, I knew that one day these little kids that you see in these t-shirts at these elementary schools are going to be in the NBA. And I think that's what has happened with the Tristans and the Kelly Olynyk's and the Andrew Wiggins of Canada.
The Raptors may have brought Toronto NBA star power, but it took a kid named Jamal, a man-child of two Trinidadian immigrants, to bring attention to his homegrown talent.
He was a really clumsy kid as a 15-year-old, and then he transferred to this high school called Eastern Commerce downtown, which is a perennial powerhouse before it closed down. And then he went to Kentucky, obviously won a national championship and got drafted number 18, and then, you know, had a time when he was an all-star and had a very good career.
Jamal really put on for us like in a big way. He was a big guy who made people feel like Toronto was like sick. Like, I gotta watch out for Toronto. You know, put that fear in people's hearts. Like, yo, I gotta watch out for Toronto. Like, there's something going on over there, you know?
Watch the left hand. I can do it with my eyes closed.
He was one of the pioneers in Toronto-based player that, you know, had great success at every level. From there, people start to follow that path. To come out of this city with the challenges and obstacles that we had, I do see myself as a trailblazer, only because of where this whole thing has started. You know, there's a lot of good players here. To their credit, they have really took this thing by the horns and took it to another level.
With the influx of immigrants like Jamal's parents in the 70s and 80s, the makeup of Toronto started to change. The Raptors represented that upstart culture and sparked a new basketball fan base in Canada.
Yes, I'm good, buddy.
Thank you so much.
Take it from my man, Nav, the official super fan of the Raptors who hasn't missed a single home game since their inception.
I came to Canada in 1984. When I came here, I was really taken in when I saw the game in person for the first time. Yeah, the first game I went to was the opening night. I was in awe. I mean, they're so close. Though at that time I was not on the floor, but it was, the environment was so good.
Brother, what up, brother? Jimmy.
How you been?
Jamal.
18 years, you never missed a game. Ever.
No, 23 years.
I know, but the 18 I've been in the NBA, you never missed one.
Never missed a game. When the game starts, you will see all the colors, all the religions, all the faiths. Everybody will be here. It's just one nice community watching the basketball here. Today, we have 13 Canadians playing in the NBA. You know, all these guys, these kids they're amazing kids, but they were inspired during that era.
Basketball lives in the city big time. You know, it's always been there and you can actually like feel it. How do you express it? How does it come out? And how does it grow? All this takes time, you know, like to evolve into something. You look at all the Canadian players playing in the league, how have they evolved with time? Their generation basically coming slowly. The influences of Vince, the influences of the Raptors, the influences of the NBA.
Vince and T-Mac brought the spotlight, and Jamal McGlaw opened the door on the ground level. But the story of the hoop explosion in Toronto goes deeper than that. It starts with a wave of new Canadians loving the game and leads to the next generation growing up with a basketball in their hands.
Yeah, what's the job
You don't have that, you don't have that.
What's that job stuff? Show me.
You do it first and let me see.
Okay.
All right. Got anything you can do, I can do better. I don't know what all that. I didn't stretch or anything, so you know. What is that? We'll get the ball, man.
He's up there a little bit. He's up there.
I'll have to get some Bengay and rub up. I think my knees are hurting me now.
Elijah Fisher is the #1 prospect in the class of 2023 worldwide. He's been dunking since age 11. At that age, his dad was moving to Canada from Jamaica. Now, Elijah's set to fulfill the potential that his pops never had a chance to.
I came to Canada when I was 11, and at that time it was hockey, and I played a little bit of soccer because back home in Jamaica, the big thing was soccer. What he has right now is way better than what I had growing up. I kind of felt that with my era of basketball, if I'd met somebody like Coach Roy, I could have gone much further than I did. So I'm just glad for him that he has the opportunity at such a young age.
I used to play hockey, you know what I mean? Back in the day, that exposure, that opportunity wasn't there for basketball.
Those are wasted dribbles.
Once I switched over to basketball and started to really get after how do we change the whole culture, and you know, because a good demographics of kids and parents coming from, you know, Eastern European countries, Africa, the Caribbean, all over, you know, you can kind of, you know, get some athletes that you can work on them to be basketball players.
You can't guard me, that's true. Tell the camera the truth.
What?
You always beat me?
Yeah. What happened last time I saw Crestwood? Threw out before about 5 times. Got vexed, beat you.
I remember nothing like that.
Coach Rowe is a legend at the Falstaff Community Center, who himself immigrated to Canada as a child.
It's like the Canadian Rucker Park. Steve Nash actually helped to put some money together to put the wood down. I'm that guy, you know, that's here at 7 o'clock in the morning on the weekends, getting it in with these kids. We try to help build this pipeline to the NBA. You know, we have so many guys coming up that have that potential, and I feel it's my duty to try to see them through in some capacity. Just have it down like this, okay? Your offhand down, all right? And your wrist is bent. Yeah, like that. We've worked out numerous guys over the years that end up going to the NBA major colleges. Andrew Wiggins, Tristan Thompson, Nick Stauskas, Corey Joseph. Even Jamal Murray has been in this gym working out with us.
Jamal Murray is one of Ontario's best hopes for a homegrown star. He lit up Denver in his rookie season after starring in college at Kentucky. But it all started for him just outside the city in Kitchener, where he learned the game from his pops, Roger, who immigrated from Jamaica at age 9.
Hey. I didn't know basketball in Jamaica. All I knew was track and field, kung fu. I used to push myself to that limit pain, test my pain threshold. I just put my hands in hot water. That's all. Like I used to go hard with it. Whatever I can think to challenge myself.
Yeah, I mean, we come out here, play basketball on the ice. Just when they have the ice rink up, the push-ups in the snow.
So we be like, they're gonna gotta take the shot, gotta make the shot. Yeah, we'll both do push-ups on the ice.
Everywhere in Jamal's game, from his atypical warm-up routines to his focus on the court, you see traces of his father.
We just did our own thing, you know. We would think differently.
Lamar, what happened if we're like have a serious workout and you're not focused and we need to focus? What happened? What do you do? What's that? We do hills. One shot, and if he doesn't make it, hill. Let's see what's up. I'm glad you missed it. Go ahead. You gotta do hills right on top. You gotta do. Now he's thinking about it. I gotta focus.
We took our practice more seriously than going into the games, and we work on a lot of mental stuff and talk a lot about how we want the game to go, or what to look for and how we want to play. So then I'll go in the game and I'll just be in my own zone.
Get 10 push-ups for me.
I meditate before every game. I take time to myself. When I go in the game and I know, if I'm struggling or something, I can just get back to my own space and start to perform better.
Still working that mental right now. Come back again. All right, then say close your eyes. I still want to feel it. First hit. Jamal, you're cheating yourself. You open your eyes, Jay. Make sure you close your eyes, man. Don't cheat yourself. Just feel it. When you start getting good at that, getting a good rhythm, I start to mess with his balance a little bit. I start thinking a little bit. It's a part of it. It's supposed to be frustrating. You're supposed to feel the pain. You're supposed to get that challenge. And when a real challenge comes, you trust yourself that you have done enough to overcome it. It's life, man.
Jamal might one day be that homegrown superstar Toronto basketball fans dream of, but he's already had a massive impact on the basketball culture in Canada. Jamal was one of the first top Canadian prospects to stay north for prep school, rather than going to a powerhouse program in the U.S. And a lot of that had to do with Toronto basketball's not-so-secret weapon, Tony McIntyre, father of Tyler and Dylan Ennis, and coach of the famed CIA Bounce AAU program that produced Tristan, Thompson, Andrew Wiggins, in addition to Jamal.
Let's see something.
Let's see the juice.
I don't know if he's got the hoss, the old man.
Up here, the competition wasn't enough and the exposure wasn't there yet. People weren't necessarily coming up sitting in our gyms. We needed to get down, and one of the first tournaments we did together was the LeBron James tournament. It was difficult at the beginning because it was like, back then there was really only one or two teams from Canada that were known, so you were kind of the new kid on the block. It was like a catch-22 because you wanted to play the best teams in the US, but you always felt like if the referee came over and asked you, hey, where are you from? Canada. You never wanted to say Canada because you knew you weren't going to get good reffing after that.
The Americans, they always think they are the best players in the world, and I always try and let them know who we are and that we're from Canada and we here to essentially kick their ass.
Slowly as you start playing and you start plucking off some of those known teams, and people started really to take notice, and then it became like, oh, that's the team from Canada.
CIA Bounce, 9-0. We in the building.
That team with X, Ty, Wiggs was probably our most prominent team. When you walk in a gym, it turned heads with Wiggins being the #1 player in the class.
CIA Bounce's incredible rise was cemented when two alumni, Anthony Bennett and Andrew Wiggins, were back-to-back #1 picks in the 2013 and 14 NBA drafts.
The jubilation of Andrew Wiggins. Last year, Anthony Bennett said that perhaps Canadian players would go back-to-back at #1.
Jamal kind of got to watch all of this transpiring and growing up in it. Jamal obviously was from Kitchener, and his dad really kind of went back and forth on where should Jamal play AAU. And I was able to convince Jamal and his dad to stay in Canada and play prep school here, which was a huge, huge decision that they made. Jamal will go down as a kid that really started and helped build the whole prep school scheme here in Canada. He basically legitimized it by staying here and showing that We could go out to Kentucky, we could perform on the national stage, and we could be a lottery pick.
Jamal Murray from Kitchener, Canada.
Just as the previous generation inspired Jamal, he's inspiring the next. Look no further than his little brother Lamar, who goes through the same mental training techniques that got his brother to the league.
Let's go! Anyway, so Lamar, you're gonna lead the workout. Keep it light, guys. Keep your ears open, and let's have a good workout. All right? Let's go. Be more in 3. 1, 2, 3.
Be more!
Let's go. High knees. Let's go, girls. Let's go. There you go, Jay. Come on now, Jay. Let's get faster. Let's go. Stay focused, guys. Stay focused. Here we go. I had to take a little bit of a different approach for him, development-wise. Yeah. Because I didn't want him to think I wanted him to be Jamal, so I had to take a different approach.
So he's got a swagger's game already.
Trust me, he's mentally right now, he's coming along. Make your shot, make your shot! Well, he meditates just like Jamal. We practice what it takes to focus, what it means to focus, the effort, more of the meaning of stuff, and how to translate that into action. Breathe, guys, relax. Deep breath, relax.
You guys are not ready to give up yet, are you?
No, coach!
Do you believe if you go 100%, you'll get better?
Yes, coach!
Think of a grain of sand. A grain of sand, think of a grain of sand. That's how you're gonna see a grain of sand. Deep breath, guys, deep breath. Relax. So you guys ready to go again?
Yes, coach!
Dun, 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 dun. McMillan Park. On Trashmore. We used to come here and I just sit, lay down, look up in the sky. Right, Jay?
At night sometimes.
At night sometimes.
It'd be nice when I'm not doing anything, just get to sit here and relax, meditate, and just kind of go over, visualize all my games and stuff.
Yeah, it's good. It's a good view. It's a great view.
The rise of Canadian ballers and programs like CIA Bounce wouldn't have happened without basketball seeping into the pores of Canadian culture. And that process started way before Drake, or Vince Sanity, or the arrival of the Raptors. It goes all the way back to when the country welcomed guys like Coach Rowe, Roger Murray, and Nav Bhatia with open arms. And it's wild when it comes to making noise in the NBA, the Six might just be getting started.
You see it in the fans, you see it in just the culture of the city, that it's a sports city, it's a basketball city, and it's growing.